Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Stretford Post. How you all doing? It is Monday, and you know what? It feels like Saturday. Why does it feel like Saturday, guys? Because it is match day today. I cannot believe it's match day today, but it is match day today. Well, tonight for me. Well, tomorrow morning for me. The kickoff is at midnight, Tuesday morning, of course, for me. And I will be here live for you for the watch along, guys. But today it is breaking dawn, and welcome, guys. So good to have you here on board with me on this Monday morning, of course, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. And don't forget to smash a like on the video if you guys could do that for me. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everyone who's joined me on this show this morning. You know what? There's never a quiet day when it comes to Manchester United. Of course, Manchester United are the news. Man, there could be, listen, we don't need any other football club in England. We just got Manchester United. As long as Manchester United exist, there will be news. There will be transfer news, and there's lots of spin going around Man United at the moment, not least in regards to contract negotiation. Kobe Mainoo and Garnacho's contracts have stalled. Rumor is that they are reluctant to sign new contracts at Manchester United because they are somewhat disillusioned by the way the club are being run, guys. Now, this is obviously huge news, being our two most valuable young players, guys, of course. Very, very important players for Manchester United, of course. Those two young players, very valuable, of course, guys. So this is very concerning at the end of the day. This is very worrying in regards to Manchester United going forward, that players do not want to negotiate contracts. Players don't want to sign new contracts. And that is something that we're going to have to worry about, because we're meant to be the biggest club in the world, apparently. But at the moment, the Glazers, who have run us into the ground, they're the ones who have, you know what, created this atmosphere at Man United, created this mentality, this culture at the football club. Look, Ineos have just walked into the football club. Ineos are doing what they have to do in regards to thinking that they know best. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe it is one big master plan, of course, guys, that we don't know about, of course. But one thing we have to say in regards to everything is that the way we've been run over the last 10, 11, 12 years has been diabolical. And, you know, I'm not surprised that young players do not see their future at Man United, because this is a graveyard for players who decline. And this has been happening for many years, of course, guys. Players declining right before our very eyes, you know. Players that we thought, wow, this player is fantastic. Look, you even look at this. Like, look at the situation with Mazraoui, for example. Mazraoui was hitting 7 and 8 out of 10 every single game at the beginning of the season. Now it's starting to go to the 6s and the 5s. It's starting to decline. Why is that, guys? What is going on at Manchester United? What is the problem with Man United? Hear you scream. What is it? At the end of the day, I just feel like when you don't get results on the pitch, negativity resonates, when negativity spreads like bacteria. And Man United have got a bacterial infection with the results, of course, guys. This is the problem with this great football club of ours. Of course, that we have a problem with negativity. We have a problem with a culture. We have a problem with application and implication. Loads of things on top of that, of course, guys, that go on at Manchester United. Now, we have a massive game today against Newcastle United. I mean, you know what? We have been kind of similar to Newcastle over the last year or so, haven't we, in regards to the way we finished in the league. Of course, we beat them in the League Cup final as well. You know, we've been a little bit on level par with them. They're doing a little bit better than us this season. They are higher up the league, of course, guys, which is obviously concerning. So Man United have to win this game today. We are down into 14th place, guys. For goodness sake, I can see the bottom three, and I can see Man United in the same bloody page. My goodness me, it's crazy, isn't it, when you look at it, guys? Let's read through some of your comments, guys, real quickly. Let's have a look. Shout out, UK Rap. Big up, shout out to Sal. Big up yourself. Good to see you back, my friend. Good afternoon, for Singapore, guys. I can't help but be stunned. You'll keep so optimistic. Oh, wow. I'm already overwhelmed by what's happened in the last 2 weeks. Oh, you know what? The great thing about football, and I always believe this, is that there's always a chance to make it better. You know, there's always a chance to change it, the situation. You know, as my screen goes off as I say that, that is absolutely, my screen goes off as I say that. That's absolutely crazy, isn't it? But anyway, basically, you know, there's always a chance to change things. And maybe over the years, supporting this football club, I've gained some delusions of Gundula, maybe. I don't know. But I always believe that Man United will be back. When is the question? I just hope it's the next game. You know what I mean? And that's what I hope. You know, I firmly believe in Ruben Amorim. I believe in Ruben Amorim's talent as a manager. I do. I know there's some people starting to get doubts. That's fine. He doesn't have his team in there yet. I would wait until he gets his team in there. I can sense something big happening at Man United. I know it's very hard to find at the moment, but you know, we have to go through all, obviously, the negativity. You know, you have to feel the rain before you appreciate the sunshine. You know, without sadness, you won't feel happiness. You know, and I just feel like this is going to, you know, I could feel this is the bottom of the barrel. I hope this is the bottom of the barrel for Man United, and the only way is up. I really do feel that way, and I really hope that Man United get the result tonight. I hope that we have some positivity going on, because, you know, when Man United lose games, it all gets all negative and toxicity starts resonating around. And, you know, I just want Man United to win tonight. I mean, a nice hefty win. I mean, we have a good record against Newcastle at Old Trafford. God forbid, touch wood, of course, guys, we do have a good record against Newcastle United. Many great wins against Newcastle, as I pointed out on the previous show. There are 5-0s and 6-2s and stuff like that. But obviously, this is a different time, and Man United don't score goals. It's like Man United are allergic to scoring goals, of course, guys, and 1 goal a month. You know what I mean? Goodness me. Couldn't buy a goal at the moment, for goodness me, for love nor money. But, you know, one thing we would say is that Man United need to change the record now, and Man United need to make sure tonight is the night that we get something from the game, because I'm really, really becoming, you know what, a little bit concerned. I'm never completely concerned. Look, guys, I can't help my personality. I mean, I'm always going to be optimistic about this football club, because, you know what, this football club have come from adversity. They come from tragedy. And that is how I fell in love with the football club. It wasn't trophies. It wasn't success. It was the adversity. And I'm a very nostalgic person, and I'm a person that feels things. And when I first started supporting Man United as a young child, I actually took up my time out to actually learn about the football club, what the football club is about. You know what I mean? And, you know, that resonated with me forever. And I will never lose that, you know. So no matter what, I will always be appreciated that we have a Manchester United football team, and that we will get success eventually. You know what I mean? I think that what we need to do is that there's a number of problems at Man United that need to be cleared up, of course. There are players out there that need to leave. There's a culture at the football club that needs to be fixed. There's also a fitness issue, in my opinion. There's also a medical issue, in my opinion, as well. There's also a culture where you can sit on your ass and just do nothing until your contract runs out mentality that needs to change. And I can foresee these things changing. Absolutely. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see Sanj in the house. Big up yourself. Morning, Goals of George, my friend. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're good. Both youngsters have long contracts till 2027, 28. Maybe are due to or pushing or raise, or Ineos have to stop that as the performance don't warrant it now. Makes sense to me. Goals of George, you make a very good point, to be honest with you. And you know what? I always call out good points. When I see good points, man, I always call them out. And Goals for George is no stranger to good points, of course, guys. And to be honest with you, I absolutely agree. I think that you should not be handed out bumper contracts willy-nilly. The contracts should be handed out based on performances and achievements. That's how it used to be when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Nowadays, players feel like, oh, my goodness me, Bruno's earning 300K a week. Why am I not earning 300K a week? This culture's got to stop. And I don't care who they are. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love Mainu. I love Garnacho, right? I don't care who they are. If you do not play well on that football pitch and you're begging for contracts, maybe that's why your performances have been so bad recently. You know what I mean? Mainu, Garnacho, maybe you should concentrate more on performing for Man United than worrying about your contract and your agent fees and stuff like that. Maybe that should be the case right now. We are Manchester United. You're on the shoulders of players like Paul Scholes and Roy Keane, Mainu and Garnacho. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, listen, earn it. Earn it. Look, I know there's a culture at this football club where we've been handing out contracts willy-nilly. We've been handing out contracts in boxes of cornflakes. Buy one, get one free. You know what I mean? Packets of Walkers. We'll be getting that little blue packet out. Here's a new contract for you. No problem if you haven't scored in 20 games. Here's a new contract for you. There you go, my son. Get in. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Man United need to change that mentality. Man United need to change that culture. And I believe they will change it eventually. Eventually, I think they are changing it under Ineos. If I was going to praise Ineos, and I do praise people when they make good decisions, the Bruno decision was a bad decision, guys. Giving Bruno a new contract like that was a bad decision. And I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the day, Man United should always be challenging for the league title. Man United should always be in the Champions League and in the latter stages of the Champions League as well. Bruno didn't deserve a new contract. Hasn't played well for 18 months. Why was he given a new contract? For one pass in the FA Cup final. And that is how it seems to me. You know what I mean? If we are going to progress as a football club, we have to change everything in regards to up here. We have to say, look, why would Real Madrid give these players a new contract? Would they? Would they? At the end of the day, you have to say, look, we have to measure ourselves against the best. We're not Real Madrid at the moment in regards to our performances on the pitch, right? We're not them. We're as big as them, but we're not them in regards to quality. So why would they give a contract to Mainu and Garnacho? We have to look at, if they were playing for Real Madrid, would they be given these contracts? I like Mainu. I think Mainu's an absolute generational talent. I also think Garnacho is as well. I think Garnacho he's had a bad time recently. Obviously, he's had his child, and obviously there's been a lot of pressure on his shoulders and stuff like that. Man United do put a lot of pressure on the young players as well. And maybe this is giving these young players more of an ego. Do you know what I mean? And maybe this needs to move on, this type of mentality. You know, and I do think we do need to move on from that. I would rather bring someone in from South America who would take 30 grand a week and perform week in, week out without foul. I would do that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I don't want any more crybabies. I don't want any more mercenaries at Man United. Man United is basically a place where you get rich. I don't want that anymore. I want players to come here in a place to you get rich with trophies. That's what I want, not rich in your pocket. You're going to get rich in your pocket anyway, but achieve it. Win it. Have some pride in yourself. Look at where Man United are. Man United are 14th in the Premier League. 14th in the Premier League. My goodness me. It is January almost. And we're 14th. It's mad, isn't it? Big up, Rasta. Bless up, my friend. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. So I had a very difficult day at work, but bless up. I hope you're doing well, mate. I know how it is. I know you work in a hospital. I worked in a hospital for 5-6 years. I know how difficult it can get in hospitals and stuff like that. It is madness. I can only imagine how it is in New York at the moment. You know what I mean? It does get a little bit difficult in these hospitals. So guys, if you've worked in a hospital, guys, like I worked in hospital. I've done security in a hospital, guys, for 6 years, right? So you can imagine the sort of people I've had to deal with. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, you have to keep your wits about you. You get punched at, spat at, you know what I mean? The whole works. Absolutely. Sorry, I just heard a noise. Good afternoon, Sal. Good afternoon, Jim. How you doing? The legend that is Jim. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Good to see the legend that is Jim in the chat. Good to see you, bruv. I've learned not to do nothing. Don't forget to like the live. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, what we have to do, Rasta, like one thing we have to do is look at this scenario at Man United and pick up things of what the problems are of Man United. And we pick them up and we look at things diplomatically, and we look at things in a way that, you know what is the problem at Man United? And obviously, well, who are Man United targeting and stuff like that? Because we need to have a vision of what our vision is. We need to have an idea of what our vision is. We need to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And when we talk about what's going on at Man United, of course, rumours are going to come into Man United. Names are going to be thrown at Man United. We understand about spin. But let's not forget, we are watching Ineos. We are watching them, what's going on. And this is whole part of watching them, you know, because we've heard this all before. You know, we've heard this all before. We've heard these rumblings before, these names, these disgruntlements, everything before over the last 13 years. But what we do, we report Man United and we talk about Man United, and that is what it's all about. And what can fix Man United going forward? How can Man United become a successful football team again? You know what I mean? At the moment, we are not, right? We're 14th, right? And you know what? I never thought I'd say that, especially in January. Do you know what I mean? I remember when we lost to Aston Villa in 1995, 96, you can't win anything with kids team. The first game of the season, we lost 3-1 to Aston Villa. And I looked at the league and I was like, first game, one game. I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, one game, my goodness me. Now we're in January and we're 14th. And it's like, Things can only get better, guys. Things can only get better. Big up, Jim. Bless you, Rasta. So big up, pray your story. Okay, mate. Hope to absolutely chin up, Rasta. Absolutely. Goals for Joel. That's the fans United could lose at home to Newcastle is crazy. United lose at home again. Fans should walk out and demands tickets and fares and hotels and from absolutely. It depends in it. Goals for George. You know what? I've always said this, right? And I'll say this forever. I said teams lose, athletes lose, football teams lose, rugby teams lose, cricket teams lose. We all lose in life sometimes, right? The problem is, it's part of life. The problem is the number one, if you learn from your losses. Do you learn from it? Have you fixed the mistakes that you made before? But the overriding, glaring problem that I see with Manchester United at the moment is not that we're losing, it's the way we're losing. We're not losing by absolutely pounding the goal and almost scoring, and we were unlucky. We should have won that like we did in the past, when we used to lose games 1-0, but we absolutely pounded the goal, and we'll get them next time. Nowadays, it's like we could play for 3 days against Bournemouth. We wouldn't do anything against Bournemouth. And that's the issue. That shouldn't be Old Trafford. Old Trafford should be an intimidating fortress. It should be a place where you go, where the team looks at you and you think, my goodness me, we're going to have a tough game today. Look at the crowd are up for it. We need that. At the moment, Man United are not intimidating. Man United are not scary enough at the end of the day. And that is the problem I'm having at the moment with this Man United team. Of course. Good morning, Kenny. How you doing, brother? Hope you're good. Tonight is nothing much to worry about. It's all about vibes and therapy along. Absolutely. Look, you know what? The only therapy for me tonight is a win for Manchester United. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. If Man United go out there and win, good. We got Liverpool coming up, guys, away. We all know what Liverpool are doing at the moment. For crying out loud, Liverpool are making this even worse. We have to give credit where it's due. Salah deserves the Ballon d'Or. They're scoring goals for fun. They scored 6 against Tottenham. They scored 5 against West Ham. They're absolutely smashing it, And Liverpool are an example of how you're supposed to be run as a football club. They have done everything right. And to be honest with you, they haven't, bought 50 and 90 million pound players. They haven't done any of that. They've got players like Elliott and Jones in their team. Do you know what I mean? Of course, they've got Mohamed Salah, but why does it work so well with them? And why does it seem to click with them so good? And this is the problem that I'm having with Man United, that Man United can't even get anywhere near that. And this is the thing that makes me really disillusioned and thinking that, goodness me, something is wrong at Man United. People talk to me and say, well, you know what, Liverpool, they've got Anfield. Anfield is this. Look, they won away to Tottenham and West Ham, scoring 11 goals. We couldn't score 1 goal against West Ham. If we were lucky, we'd score 1 goal against West Ham. You know what I mean? We were struggling, hoping on decisions to go our way. And this is the problem at the moment with this football team. And I really hope that it fixes. I firmly believe, guys, that it will fix. And Ruben Amorim will get it right eventually. I do believe that. I am all for the Ruben Amorim train, guys. And I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to the end. The bitter end, of course, guys. That is what I'm in it for. Absolutely. They won't do that. I know they should. I think one thing you would say is do something, and another thing is to do it. And I'm also, guys, I created a few years ago, 5 years ago, if those who follow me on Twitter, I created the 58-minute walkout. It was unsuccessful. I mean, at the end of the day, I couldn't expect people to walk out because I told people to walk out. But I walked out in the 58th minute because obviously a tribute to the Munich, obviously disaster and stuff like that. And you know what, getting the Glazers at the football club. It's very hard to tell people to leave. And people travel long ways. People travel I know someone who travels from America every other week. You know what I mean? And, people travel a long way. And it's very hard to tell them to leave, isn't it? And but obviously, when you look at teams like Inter Milan and AC Milan, they've done these things in the past. They have walked out on the club, they walked out. And it is kind of striking. It's something that, you know what, you have to look at. And you know what, it is a very, very glaring media thing where you see the stadium is empty. You know what I mean? And that is a big thing. If Ineos see that, they're going to be going, oh my goodness me. You know what I mean? What is going on? And Ineos haven't felt anything like this before. Glazers have. Ineos haven't. You know what I mean? Ineos haven't felt anything along those lines. And I feel like Ineos need to feel the pressure a little bit. If one unsettled fan walks out mid-match and demands refund because the team is not performing, they won't refund. But I say 10,000 fans walk out, never know. At the end of the day, this is the thing, isn't it? You know, as I said, it depends how Man United lose. If Man United lose badly 3-0 tonight, you know what I mean? Then you're going to look at things and say, you know what? Refund now. But if Man United lose 3-2, brilliant game, we're unlucky. You can't really say that because obviously football is about winning and losing at the end of the day, isn't it? The problem is the application and obviously the dedication that some of these players have on the football pitch, which I feel I don't see anymore. You know, when I used to sit behind the front row on the Stretford end, when the players used to walk off the pitch, they used to have sweat dripping down their faces. I remember one time Patrice Evra was sick on the pitch, how much he ran. You know what I mean? I don't see this anymore. I really don't see any of that effort anymore. I don't see any of that desire anymore. When we go 1-0 down, that should hype you up. That should say, all right, okay, you want this? You want to beat us at Old Trafford? You want to make a name for yourself? Okay, let's see what you're made of. I don't see that. I think, oh my, all I see is like, you know what, scared little puppies in a corner when we go 1-0 down. And it's like, oh my God, not again. You know what I mean? We don't need this, of course, guys. Big up Rasta. Of course. Big up Akash. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I really fear the worst out. Akash, you know what? One thing I'm trying to do is block out, you know, the worst what can happen. Because I know that it's going to be a rough ride, right? And I'm expecting this rough ride because at the end of the day, look, we got rid of Marcus Rashford. We thought Marcus Rashford would never go. He hasn't gone yet, I know. But you know what? He's not in the picture at the moment and he's not a distraction. So we know that is one thing that's going on. There are a number of problems at this football club that have not been addressed. And unfortunately, previous managers have not addressed this problem. And they should have addressed these problems. Many of these players do need to go. And I would urge Ruben Amorim to you know what, use, you know, the ultimate of his ruthless mentality and personality. Because at the end of the day, some of these players do not deserve to wear that football shirt. I firmly believe it is on a tide. We are going to turn. We will turn eventually, and Man United will get back to where we should be, which is challenging for the league. I know at the moment it looks bleak, but we all know that football can change in a blink of an eye, can't we? You know, it just takes a few wins to put together. You know what? You know what a way! What a way to make your mark, right? To go and beat Newcastle, right, and then beat Liverpool. What a way to change the story, to change the narrative. What a way to do it, by beating Newcastle and then beating Liverpool. I mean, I would love that. That would be, you know what I mean? That would be like, we're back. That's it. Come on, let's go now. You know what I mean? At the moment, we look like we're playing with a fridge on our back. At the moment, we're playing like with a fridge on our back. Fortunately, because our attack has been the problem. Our attack is the problem. And to be honest with you, it's the creative side of things. We're not creating enough chances for our strikers. We're not getting the ball to our strikers enough. As I said, Rasmus Højlund is in the bottom 5% of passes in the box in Europe. But Rasmus Højlund is in the top 5% of chances converted in Europe. What does that tell you? That tells you that we're not getting enough balls to the strikers. And whose fault is that? It's the attacking midfielders and the midfield, isn't it? So what we have to do is we have to find a formula, find a way to make this work. And it will work. Obviously, since Ruben Amorim left Sporting Lisbon, Gutierrez hasn't been scoring enough goals, has he? He's not been scoring like he did before. So I firmly believe that that Ruben Amorim is a big part of the way they play. And I think that we will come good. We will come good. Don't worry about that. We will come good. We have to believe. We have to believe. Either we believe or no one else believes, of course. United had to increase Bruno's wages due to disparity with Rashford and Casemiro. He has been there longer, contributed more, available more, was captain and more responsibilities. Respect wage. I go by my eye test. I go by, you haven't played for 18 months. Well, you don't deserve a contract. That's what I would go. I think, and this doesn't just only happen with Bruno and Rashford. This happens with everyone. You know, and to be honest with you, it was a mistake giving Bruno a new contract. It was a mistake giving Rashford a new contract. You know, we should not be giving these players contracts based, you know, especially if they've not been challenged for the league. You asked Sir Alex Ferguson if he would give them a new contract if they haven't been challenging for the league. You know, we lost the league in 1995 to Blackburn Rovers. We came close. We lost the league by 1 point, right? We were literally a goal from winning the league, right? And he got rid of a bunch of players, good players. You know what I mean? Winners, right? That is the sort of thing we need to do. You guys are not up for it. You're out the door. That's it. It's over. Guys, I want to talk about a couple of stories going on in the media right now. Manchester United have inquired about Gabriel Moscardo. Gabriel Moscardo is a young Brazilian player, defensive midfielder, of course, currently playing for Stade Reims in France, on loan for PSG. Guys, he's on loan from PSG. He is a fabulous young player, of course, worth around 15 million euros on his highest market value. His contract expires in 2025. He could be a name that to be looking out for on a free transfer by 2025. Paris Saint-Germain are looking to give Moscardo a new contract, but Man United are lurking in the distance in regards to snapping them off Paris Saint-Germain's mittens, of course, guys. He plays for Stade Reims at the moment on loan. He is a defensive midfielder, defensive midfielder. Brazil under 23, Brazil under 19 international, under 20 international, of course, guys. Very, very good player, of course, absolutely. And you know what? I like these tall players because these sort of players, you know what? He's got experience at Stade Reims. Stade Reims haven't done too badly, haven't they? You know what I mean? And I feel like these sort of young players can come in. Defensive midfielder, 19 years old, guys. 19 years old. You know what I mean? And playing for PSG, and obviously a talisman in the FC Reims team, of course, guys. He is a name. Gabriel Moscardo is a name that Man United are, again, interested in, and one to look out for. No contract has been signed yet, but he could sign a contract for PSG. To extend his contract. But Man United are lurking in the distance to try and get this player off their hands. 19 years old, of course, brilliant player. And Man United are interested in him, of course. Another player, there is a player called Gabri Veiga. Gabri Veiga plays for Al Ahly in Saudi Pro League. Guys, I know you're going to laugh. I know people are going to banter and stuff like that. But Gabri Veiga is a highly talented Spanish international, of course, guys. Only 22 years old, guys. Played for Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo offered him a new contract. He did not sign the contract. The contract was deemed not good enough, so he ended up signing for Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. Okay, so that basically he wants to come back to Europe. His market value is 23 million euros, guys. So not that much at the end of the day, but you know what? Contract expires in 2026. Of course, he has 17 caps for the Spain under 21s with 2 goals. Guys, a very, very capable player who plays for midfield and central midfield. So he is a ex-Celta Vigo player. Celta Vigo, he was highly rated at Celta Vigo, one of the highest ranked young Spanish players, and went to Saudi Pro League. Obviously, some people are going to say he chased the money. I mean, at the end of the day, apparently the contract wasn't good enough at Celta Vigo, so he ended up signing for Al Ahly. Gabri Veiga is another one to look out for, and you heard it here on Stretford Post, guys. So Gabri Veiga could be a Manchester United target as well. Manchester United are looking at certain players that, you know what, you're not going to think about, you're not going to think of, and they're going to be players that are going to be coming on, the names that are going to be thrown at you, you're going to be like, who? You know what I mean? But these are talented players. And Gabri Veiga was ranked one of the highest prospects in Europe before he went to the Pro League. Look what happens when you go to Saudi Arabia, right? You look at Even Tony. Even Tony, we haven't heard about Even Tony, have we? That's the problem. You know what I mean? But Gabri Veiga is a great player, of course, guys. So those are 2 players on the updates in regards to names that have been scattered around that I'm hearing around, guys. So that is another name that we have to put on the list. Of course, you're on the list. Absolutely, you're on the list. Chris Jericho, if you know, you know. Big up. Great, Jim, Sal, I nearly fell off my chair to realize not Forest a second. I'm shocked. The media claiming there's a title race. What a load of bull. It's not a title race. Look, we get this every single year. We get one team that does very well. Aston Villa last year, we know. You know what I mean? So we get this every single year. When Man United won a treble, you know what? There are certain teams that are doing well. I remember Coventry City doing very well. You know what I mean? And it does happen sometimes. One thing we have to say, though, in regards to Nuno Santos, of course, is that he's a fantastic manager and highly underrated. And I think he's done a fabulous job at, you know what, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, of course, had about 50 players, didn't they, or something like that. But you know what? They've got a number of players in that squad. Murillo is another one. Obviously, Danilo is another one. Those players are excellent and been linked with Man United. You know, they have Gibbs, of course, as well. Gibbs White, of course, is another one. He's brilliant. I think the thing with Nottingham Forest, they have a scattering of great players in their team, and Man United should scout Nottingham Forest. They really should. I'm being honest. You know what I mean? And because they've got some good players in there. Look, Santos has done a fabulous job. I mean, obviously, we have to thank the manager before, but, you know, Santos is just taking it to the next level. And they're not going to win the league. We know they're not. But, you know, Champions League, Nottingham Forest, they're no stranger to that, are they? European Cup, twice European champions. So Arsenal should learn something from that. Twice European champions. You'll never sing that, Arsenal. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, yeah, fabulous job they've done. And you know what? I cannot help but be envious of the way they've done it, where they are in the league. I cannot help. You know, it almost annoys me. It almost makes me feel, you know, sad. You know what I mean, Jim? And you know, that Man United should be in those positions, that we're not in those positions. You know what I mean? And it annoys me so much. And I'm so fed up. You know, I am, honest to God. And I hope Man United change the record. And I hope they change the narrative and Man United move swiftly up that table. I really do. Starting tonight. No more. No better time than the present, of course. Kenny, even defending from set pieces is becoming a problem. It's basically open set piece. So at the end of the day, Man United with free kicks at the moment are like penalties. Corners are like penalties for Man United, you know, against us. And this is a big issue that we're having. I mean, I've always said over the years, I'm not a fan of zonal marking. I'm not a fan of marking spaces and stuff. You need the right players to do that. I don't think we have the players that have the IQ. Harry Maguire is a good player, but he's not got the IQ to play that zonal marking system. There's many players there that don't, you know, and we did miss De Ligt the other day. It's going to take time to implement. But I'm a firm believer that mark your man. Mark your man, and I guarantee you that half the goals we conceded this season wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? We probably would have picked up more points. But obviously, Ruben Amorim believes in this. He believes in this. I just don't think it is the way forward in the Premier League. Look, you can play your system, you can play your formation, everything like that, right? But there's no harm in tweaking things. You can tweak things slightly to adjust to the Premier League, because this is not the Portuguese league, is it? You know, this is the Premier League, and it is very hard. You know, every single team can take corners, to take free kicks. You know what I mean? This is not, you know what, Boa Vista. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is not, you know, a Ponta de Clara. Do you know what I mean? This is Manchester. When you play Manchester United, when they play, you're going to play Wolves, who can win the Portuguese league probably. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. You know what I mean? And the problem is that we have. I mean, Ruben Amorim is a fantastic manager, but you have to look at things in a way that in a more like smart way and try and adjust some things. I've always said that success doesn't come in a compromise. I agree with that. That is absolutely fine. Keep your tactics, keep it as it is. But you can tweak things. There's no harm in doing that. Because at the moment, we don't have the players to play that system. They don't have the IQ to do certain movements on the pitch and stuff like that. You know what I mean? When you look at the way Sporting Lisbon played, I mean, the way the team shifted from one end to the pitch to the other end of the pitch, and they worked as a unit, as a team. This team don't do that. They're all over the place. You got Bruno, who's in left back position, then he's in the bloody right back position, then he's up front. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's a mess. And Man United need to get this right. And hopefully Ruben Amorim does get this right. I mean, the longer he spends with his players, the better, of course. He has had a week to prepare for this game. I'm expecting to see a performance today. Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course. Akash, my friend. We are losing and getting bullied apart by everyone. This is the problem, Akash. You know what? I say this, and it's not how you lose. It's not the fact that you lose. It's the way you lose. And if you lose with dignity, people can accept that, and Man United will accept that. Man United know when a team is put in a shift. Man United fans are smart. We know when a team is put in a shift. We know when they played for the badge. We know that. But one thing we will say is that when you lose, and you lose like you just give up, because that is what we're doing at the moment, giving up. Oh, next game, we go again. Next game, we go again. Next game, we go again. I'm tired of that. No. game you go tonight. Tonight against Newcastle, this is the game that you have to perform. A win, nothing else. A win, nothing else. Guys, show us. Stop talking. Show us that you can do it on the pitch. Show us that you can go for Anfield and do bits like Fulham did. Show us that like Nottingham Forest did. Show us that you can do the same. Show us you can do the same. Show us you can go to Anfield. Show us you can beat Newcastle, Eddie Howe. I mean, even Erik ten Hag beat Newcastle. So come on. Like, you know what I mean? Show us you can do it. Jim. So you know what I'm going to try to hopefully this month. I'm not expecting us to win the next two, but I'm more hopeful that we will get the right players in. I'm in it for the long haul. Absolutely, Jim. Big up, Jim. Love it. That's what we should be, of course. Stal, last night I saw Sporting versus Benfica game and the new manager bounce was real as Sporting were back to their best. United can play at the intensity and pace, and I'm scared United players. Man United are the only team, goes for George, that don't have a manager bounce. They're probably the only team in history that doesn't have a manager bounce. You know what I mean? It shows you that the players are just not up for it, isn't it? You know. Will Ineos keep Ruben if we finish 15th this season, though? Yes, they will. They will. Sacking a manager is not going to do nothing. These players were going to come 15th under any manager. Trust me. You know, these players need to take the blame, not the manager. I rate Ruben Amorim. I don't care if he comes 10th to 15th. I think he'll come higher. But I don't care if he comes that. I mean, he has to win the Europa League, in my opinion. I know people are going to say, he's not going to win the Europa League. But you know what? He has to do that. He has to make sure that happens. Hopefully, Spurs get knocked out before, you know, and Man United have a clear run to the Europa League. And I think they can win the Europa League. And if they win the Europa League and Man United come 15th, I think he will keep his job. Sacking managers, who are we going to get? Sam Allardyce, Steve Bruce. Who are we going to get? At the end of the day, you know, we've had every single manager. I wouldn't be surprised. We have to trust in the manager now. And as I've always said, as Cristiano Ronaldo said this week, it's not the coach, it's not the manager. There's problems at Man United that stem deep and they run deep, deeper than deep, of course, guys. Jim, one thing I'm going to point out to everyone here in the fan base is we all are a family here. Good times and bad times. We all need to unite and support each other. Absolutely. I love the comment, Jim. Absolute legend, my friend. Absolute legend. Thank you, Jim. Keep up the positivity, Sal. Thank you for doing your bit. Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you for doing your bit as well. We need to go back to 4-4-2, Sal, play with the control in the midfield. We can't, mate. We can't. And I'll tell you why. Because if we do that, and I'm going to bring this in again. Guys, I had this in last time, but I'm going to bring this comment in again, right? Listen to this. If I still got it. Hopefully I have. Right, I want you to listen to this, guys.
But we have two ways, or we forget about the new idea, and I think that's why I was brought here in the middle of the season, and we try to cope with the things that I used to do it, and next year in the same stage we'll be here with the same problems. Or we start now, we risk a little bit, we suffer a little bit, and in the next year we will be better at this point, so we have to risk it a little bit. And they are thinking too much because we are changing too much with two trainings without space to improve in training.
You see things with life, guys. In life, you got to be a little bit patient and you got to be persistent, right? I was in the music industry for 20 years, right? Sometimes it doesn't work. That song doesn't work. That song doesn't work. Then one song will work. Right, and it get on radio and it do its bits and stuff like that on TV. This is the same with football. You're going to have to be a little bit patient, right? It has only been 1 month, okay? I know it hasn't been the best, I know, but as Ruben Amorim said there, we're going to have to suffer a little bit. We can either suffer, right, and be successful next season, or we could change things, get a couple of results here and there, come 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th, and have the same problems next season. That is what we have to understand. There is no success in the compromise. Sir Alex Ferguson had the same problem when he first came to Man United. There's going to be pain. We have to be strong. You have to be strong. You have to keep at it, guys. Do not give up. Just forget it. At the moment, this season is a trial and audition, in my opinion. And the great thing about Ruben Amorim coming in, trying to implement his tactics, is that he will drop the bad eggs, he will drop the bad apples, and next season, the good apples will be there, added to the players that will fit his system, and we will be ready to challenge, guys. And that is what I urge every single fan out there to do. Be patient, in my opinion. Absolutely. Let's have a look. Jim, when there is huge gaping problems in our club, change will happen, but we've got to be patient. Absolutely. Support Man United, support Amarim. Change won't be overnight, but it will happen. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, Jim. Spot on. If the fans attack one another, acting patiently, it's like throwing the toys out of the pram. It won't get anywhere. You'll just set yourself back, Jim, isn't it? You'll just set yourself back. If we start again, don't think this is going to get better. Carlo Ancelotti could be managing Man United right now. Will be the same. And it's the same thing, mate. I mean, we just have to be patient. Absolutely, we have to be patient. I heard of Gabriel Vega. He was supposed to be the next big thing, but he was a money hungry and prioritized money over his career. Yes, Almac, he didn't sign a contract with us, Celta Vigo. Apparently, the contract at Celta Vigo was absolutely diabolical, but he wants to come back to Europe. Maybe he's learned his ways, the errors in his ways, Almac. Maybe he's learned errors, but he was highly talented. He is highly talented, and Man United are interested in Mr. Vega, of course, guys. So absolutely another one that Man United are interested in. But one thing I would urge Ineos to do before they sign anyone else is to get to know personalities, get to know character, get to know family life and personal life, what they do off the field, their hobbies, etc., like Sir Alex Ferguson used to do, of course, guys. Of course, if I go into this now, guys, I'm going to read out some comments from Ruben Amarim. Ruben Amarim has been speaking, of course, last night. So basically, let me just clear this up. Here we go. So basically, when I took on the role, I knew I was taking on a significant amount of work. If we are to deliver the long-term changes we want for Manchester United, we need to take it step by step. Exactly, Mondo, as we have been speaking about. He goes on to say, we are looking to implement a new way of playing during the busiest time of the year. So there are short-term costs to our long-term goals. Exactly, guys. Short-term pain for long-term gain, of course, guys. Short-term pain for long-term gain, which is important. Players are working hard to absorb and use all the new information and instructions they are receiving. Over time, it will become easier for them and they will become more comfortable and confident, guys. And by next season, we should be ready for the challenge, guys. We hope we are ready for the challenge. Of course, players will be in. He hasn't even had one transfer window, of course, guys. Let's not forget that, absolutely, guys. He goes on to say, I have seen enough in recent weeks to recognize that we have many of the ingredients needed to succeed. And I remain as confident as I was on my first day here that we will get there. In the meantime, it is my responsibility to remain calm and ensure that everyone... There we go, I'm back. In the meantime, it is my responsibility to remain calm and ensure that everyone remains united during this time of change. Absolutely. As well as improving from game to game, we also need to work on longer-term goals, such as creating an environment and culture. Thank you, guys. We've been talking about this for weeks, all of us, haven't we? That is conducted to success and working in the connection between our academy and the first team to develop players with the qualities we need to achieve our big ambitions as a club. Guys, spot on. Guys, spot on. Long-term patience is what we need to practice. This is exactly what we've been talking about. Practice, patience. That's what we need to do, guys. Absolutely. Of course. Is that in regards to Ahmad has been talking as well. For the young lads, we just have to keep going, work hard, and the most important thing is to listen to the old men. The old players learn every day. We have now a new manager. He likes to work with young players and he brings a new system. We just have to follow it and try to do our best every game. It sounds a little bit defeatist in my opinion, but you know what? It is what it is. We want to do our best every game. Of course you do, mate. That is a cliche. Sometimes it cannot work, but you can see in the pitch we are very focused on our best for the club because we want to bring back this club to the level it was before, said Ahmad Diallo. We are part of the project. We have so many young players for this club, especially Ghana, Kobe, Joshua, Rasmus. We are young players who want to make history for this club. We want to make history for this club. That is the key. We need to bring Man United back, and we need to start making history at this football club. Of course, guys, absolutely. So those are some quotes going on this week, of course, guys, in regards to Manchester United. Some nice quotes there, some positivity, something the thing I like about Ruben Amorim, I tell you, the thing I love about Ruben Amorim is that he's a very honest, straight down the middle guy, right? He don't sugarcoat things. He doesn't make things sound more exciting, or he doesn't use any analogies. He doesn't use anything like that. He is a guy that, you know what, tells it as it is. He's ruthless in his vocabulary, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything to make things look better. He says it as it is. Basically, saying it shit, basically, you know, and he knows it is. But he knows the long-term plan. And it's exactly what we've been speaking about, the long-term plan at Manchester United. We need to focus on the long term rather than short-term joy. You know, it's a bit like putting money in your savings account. You know what I mean? You're putting money in your savings account. You may feel the hit because you want that money. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, in the long term, you know what I mean? You're going to benefit more than you do at that moment. And that's one thing I would say, of course. Good morning, David. How you doing, my friend? Good morning, everyone. All Man United fans around the world. Let's hope tonight can be a turning point in the season. Everyone's saying that we're going to lose. We'll be positive. Absolutely, David. Let's be positive, my friend. Absolutely. Tal, back 22 years ago, one of my co-colleagues was an Arsenal fan. And also I used to know another Arsenal fan. I miss them times when we were with them passion. I mean, the best rivalry in English football history. Organic rivalry, of course, guys. Organic rivalry. It was a proper rivalry, of course. How you doing, Deliso, my friend? How you doing? You're good. United, I want Danny Olmo and Nico Williams, Edison, Anthony Robinson, Nuno Mendes. United's better for you. I mean, Deliso, if we signed those players, right, all of those players, I would not only shave off my hair, right? I would not only shave off my hair, I shave off my eyebrows as well. If Man United got all those players there, I would shave off my eyebrows and shave off my hair. But if that did happen, if we did sign those great players right there, every single one of them are fantastic players who I'm big fans of, you know what? That would be absolutely amazing for Man United. I don't quite think we're going to get all of those players, though. But you know what? It would be amazing if we did. Danny Olmo could come on a free transfer, of course, has obviously with the registration problems going on at Barcelona. They do have another hearing on the 30th of December, which is today. They have another hearing today. Danny Olmo has a hearing today in regards to his registration as a Barcelona player. If the registration doesn't go through, Danny Olmo is free to leave the football club on a free transfer and go to Manchester United. Of course, guys, we hope. Of course, we hope. Big up. Danny, we need to start man marking. Don't leave the man free before he knows it. Our players should be on top of them. Don't give them a chance. Think they absolutely. You know what? Press. As soon as the game starts, and the crowd have a role to play as well. The crowd need to be intimidating. The crowd need to be scary. Man United need to go out there and not give Newcastle a breath. Use your body, use your strength, use your mind in a positive light. Go out there, first tackle, crunch. Go out there and mean business. That's what I would say. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good morning, David. How you doing, my friend? You can't just have one system. You need to be flexible depending on who you play. He is. He has his systems he plays. Unfortunately, the players don't have the IQ to play that system, unfortunately. The players don't have the IQ to play the Eric Ten Hag system. The players don't have the IQ to play the Ragnick system. You know, at the end of the day, what IQ do they have? What system do they want to play? Google Gaga system. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, this is the problem with Man United players, you know? At the end of the day, Culture George, maybe Amorim wants to call the first team 12, 15 players in the first team so he knows who he can build with. Absolutely. Play all of them so that there is no doubt in fans, club, and my great agents and my absolutely. By the start of next season, as we've been speaking about, the bad eggs and the bad apples will be out of the football club, and the right players will be at this football club, and it will be a good season next season. Mark my words, guys. Keep faith with Ruben Amorim. We will have a good season next season. I'm pretty certain about that. Yeah, I would love Nuno Mendes, GK. Nuno Mendes would be a great signing, although 60 million, of course. David, we need to be patient with Amarim. He came in, he got all the players that he's 2-3. He needs about 2-3 windows to see the difference in our team, defending, attacking midfield. Absolutely, mate. It's not easy to come to a team that is losing, right? Trying to implement a unique style of football that requires a high level of IQ, let's be honest, with players are not his, and trying to deal with off-field issues. Already, he's had to deal with off-field issues, guys. And people are blaming Eric Ten Hag about off-field. I mean, goodness me, they train too hard. Things like that, of course. Amarim, to have changed his tune, he initially talked about competing for trophies, and now he is more realistic. It seems like underestimating the size of the challenge. I think he's always spoke the same. I don't think he's underestimating. I think he knows the challenge of the job. He's always said the challenge is the job. He knows that Man United are not going to win the league this season. He never said Man United are going to win trophies this season. I do believe Man United can win Europa League. I think the same as when he came in. Get a respectable position in the league, win the Europa League. And then we can move on to next season and try and straighten things out and make sure that things are good next season, And I think they will be. I've got a feeling. SLD, how you doing, my friend? Shave your chest as well. I've got no hair on my chest, mate. I've got no hair on my chest. I've got hair in different places. Big up. Yale, there is no longer a registration problem at Barcelona. They have found 100 million. Miraculously, Yale. Miraculously. Isn't that funny? Big up, bro. How you doing, original? Good to see you back, my friend. Ruben plays, but they still got a hearing, haven't they? Ruben plays with the wingers at the wide position in Nuno Mendes. A good signing for me. I would like it to sign Somerville from West Ham, since he's a good winger and can defend like he's a good player. There's a number of players, of course, but the problem is we don't really play wingers. We play 2 number 10s. So basically, behind the striker, we need 2 number 10s. So when you have 2 number 10s, you need 2 number 10s that have a technical ability, not just a guy who can run. You need guys who can have a technical ability, can take the ball, a bit like Odegaard kind of thing. You know what I mean? That kind of player Man United need. And Man United need 2 of them. The wingers are going to come from the wing-backs. So at the end of the day, those 2 wingers there with the 3-4-2-1, they're going to be going forward. So they're the ones who are going to create the width. Unfortunately, we don't have those players at the moment. Mazraoui, Dalot, they're not kind of attacking wing-backs. They're full-backs. So at the end of the day, look, we hope that can be fixed by the summer, of course, guys. By the summer. Jim, so I know I said earlier it won't set my back. I've seen a lot of football since 92, and some modern-day people swap teams when the heat is on. Yeah. Fair weather fans, Jim. That's what I call them, fair weather fans. Well, there are no fans in the first place. Of course, no fans in the first place. Set me back, mate. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Jim, there are no fans in the first place. In January, they are imminent. That's what I want. Nuno, yes. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Absolute legends you all are. Guys, it is match day. Don't forget, I'm live later on in the evening. Of course, guys, the match will kick off for me at 8. It will kick off in UK 8 p.m. I'll be live at 7:30 p.m. guys, for the live watch along between Manchester United and Newcastle. Fingers crossed, guys. We've got everything crossed at the moment. We need to win this game. It's imperative that we win this game, guys. We do need this to happen tonight, and no more excuses. Let's make Old Trafford a fortress. Let's get the crowd rocking. Let's get the stadium rocking, and let's win against Newcastle United. That's what we need to do, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel or become a member if you would like on the link on the screen. Of course, guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me. You're absolute legends. Of course, let's read some more of your comments. Ineos are on forward watch, Sal. I would judge them. Absolutely, Jim. They are. Indeed, they are on forward watch. United also sacked a head goalkeeper coach. I wonder if that means we will sell Onana. Onana, of course, I've been speaking about a goalkeeper yesterday, the Belgian goalkeeper, Lemens, of course, who's 22-year-old. Very, very good goalkeeper, guys. Very, very good goalkeeper. That Man United are sending Lemens, and he's a brilliant goalkeeper, and Man United are interested in him. Man United are also interested in a number of other goalkeepers. I would love Donnarumma myself. I thought if we can get Donnarumma in the team, it will help us a lot. It really would, guys. It really would. Yale, United, I think I read down. Sorry. Big up, LT. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, Sal. Hope you enjoyed your Xmas. You too, my friend. I'm glad Dean Rashford is finally being called out by the manager, and the fact that he has said that there has been a problem for managers for is unacceptable. Thank you very much, LT. And it's exactly what we've been saying for months and years, isn't it? We've been saying this for years. Rashford is an issue. Rashford is an issue. But no, we get shut down, don't we? We get shut down, guys. It's ridiculous. And I'm glad that someone like Andy Mitten, you know what, has spoken out, a respected journalist like him, and spoken about Rashford. Why he's done that now, who knows? Maybe he didn't get his brown overlap, as I said the other day. But that nothing's in us. It's just a joke. Guys, thank you, everyone. One more comment. Big up, Sal. Thank you. You're uplifting my day. Always love your diamonds in the rough. So are you, Jim. Keep the positivity. We will be here, of course, guys. We just hope that we win the game, guys. Really hope. Thank you, Jim. Have a fantastic day, guys. Whatever you're doing today, I'm off to IKEA. You know what? It's not the most entertaining thing I'm doing today. But, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm going to make the most of it. I'll see you later. No chatterbox today, guys. It's all about the watch-along tonight. But you know what? I can't wait for it. I look forward to it. Join me for the watch-along tonight. Have a fabulous day. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Take it easy. Peace.
But we have two ways. Or we forget about the new idea, and I think that's why I was here. I was brought here in the middle of the season, and we try to cope with the things that I used to do it, and next year in the same stage we'll be here with the same problems. Or